It's Sunday, it's the Sunday Swinger Show. Let's get into it. Okay, how are you all doing? Welcome back to the Sunday Swinger Show. So everything on green on your right hand side will run through today, starting with trade recap, on to Ask AI. So what I done this week, instead of asking you the members, I said this time I'll change it up and see what AI has to offer. See if they give us anything decent to have a look at. Then we're going to go on to Trader Hour with Alt of the Week. And then at the end of the show, we're going to do a competition where you could be in with a chance to win a free month's membership at Pro Traders Lounge. So that's all the things to look forward to. Then we're going to move down into the gold section where we have gold and indices, swing trades, altcoin swing trades, and Bitcoin swing trades. That's for our members over at ProTradersLounge.com. If you want to join up, we have a deal going on at the minute. It's €99 for your first month at Pro Traders Lounge. That's a saving of €60 on your first month. So with that said, we're going to jump into it as quick as we can, but make sure to stick around until the end where you could be in with a chance to win a free month at Pro Traders Lounge. Okay, so let's switch over. We're going to do the trade recap, and last week we were looking at Popcat. We were looking for that move up above the 39-cent region, and then on a loss of that we would look for a short. So let's go back to what we were looking at last week and put on our level. 39-cent region was in and around here. Let me just get this right. 39.90. 39.90. Oh, that'll do. So we were looking for price to come up and back down below it, and at that we will take our positions, as you can see here. So I got into this position. I left everybody know in the Discord I am short on our paper trading accounts, that is, where we took it down, and I told him I'm taking profit 1, and then we moved on to take profit 2, down taking out more lows, and then it reversed and knocked me out of the position. So far on this one, it is being a pain in the to be honest with you. So it's come back up, knocked me out of the position. I got a further 12% move to the downside. Do I still think that this idea of price coming up, losing it, and back down to test this parallel channel? I think that's still potentially in place. So what we'll look for locally is this. If we take our fixed range across price, and we want to look for how it reacts up at that value area high. If we get a bearish reaction, we simply look for our positions. If you have to wait for the reaction, taking profits along the way, and that will be where you're aiming for. Back down to where we said last week. Nothing really changes, but this one did knock me out of the position, and I didn't have time to jump back into it. So this is still valid in my opinion until we see it push up and taking out those highs. So yeah, that's really Popcat. I'm not going to cover Bitcoin. I covered Bitcoin last week on the Sunday Swinger Show, but I'm not going to do it this week. I'm going to keep it all for the members, because we're going to have big levels coming up that, you know, it's going to be an interesting one this week. Let's just say that. It's going to be an interesting one this week. So far, we've not taken any shorts whatsoever on our long positions at Pro Traders Lounge. From getting in at the exact low, if we go over to Bitcoin, from getting in at that exact low down here, for compounding on the second, from compounding on the higher low to trading it up to where it's at right now, we haven't been taking, we've taken profits here, and that's it. So lots of interesting stuff for Bitcoin. But now let's move on to the next section. So what I told you is this time I asked AI, give me some coins that are trending, give me some coins that people are talking about, give me something to play with here. And some of the stuff that came back were some crazy names, but I just went with the first two. One was SUSDT, and the other one was Vanry, and we also have one called Tone USDT. So we're going to start with SUSDT, see what we can break down from it, and see can we find a trade setup on it. So this is exactly how we found Fartcoin in the first place, and it's been the main coin traded at Pro Traders Lounge for the last few months. So firstly, let's take a fixed range to view the volume across the entirety of this from January 25 up until where we're at now. And we can see that this has been perfectly respected. Got back up into above the value area low, above the point of control, clean bounce off the point of control, little reaction off the value area high, where in the end it ended up blowing up, taking out that high, back down, testing the value area high for a bearish rotation where it dropped cleanly back down into the point of control. From the point of control, it came up and tested that value area low, or high I should say, and then made its way back down to the value area low. This is as clean as it gets just from trading volume. Then you have the value area low where it came up and washed around on that point of control for a while before coming up and again basically coming over, failed auction above this move up into the value area high again, where it came back, loss of the point of control, lower high, and then down. At this point we get a deviation of the value area low where we take out the previous lows, and then we get a big input on a reclaim of the value area low. We get a big impulse to the upside, testing that point of control again, and then a bullish rotation where we come up, get above that point of control, and we are sitting above it right now. From a technical perspective of looking at volume alone, this looks really good. So far so good for getting a recommendation from AI. Can't knock it yet. Now we've got to pick this apart and see, okay, we know that it's respected on volume. So can we find anything to trade from within this? I think that's the main thing that we have to look at now. Okay. I'm going to mark out that value area high and value area low. Look how clean they are. So mark those out. Value area high. Value area low. Have a look at pivots. And you can see I have a monthly pivot to the downside and a clean tap of that quarterly pivot to the upside, which is really nice. If we go down and look at the weekly pivots, we can see that we've come over and tapped that previous our weekly volume profiles. We tapped that naked point of control clean and got a nice rejection of 14% to the downside. If we have a look at the monthly, again, you can see we got a clean bounce on this month, this previous month, on its developing point of control, and got to move up to the upside where it came up into big resistance from a previous month over here to the left. So this is actually a valid area to mark out. Why? Because it hasn't been tapped after that month is closed. So in my opinion, it's key to look at without a doubt. So we can turn those off now. And now I want to start looking at this. What I'm interested in is the fact that we've got a deviation from that value area low and then that big impulse up. Like the next level on this to look for would be that value area high. So what we have to ask ourselves, is it going to hold a higher low here and start to move on up? Or are we going to come down and take out some levels below before moving on up? It depends on how much liquidity it has grabbed on that last pullback. So let's take a measured move from low to high. Where are we at? Golden pocket sitting down below that wick that we put in on the previous month. Mark this out as our range volume. Turn it off. That is clean. So if we look at that uptrend, failed auction above the value area high, and then we're back within it. So we really have to watch this to see, is it going to stay back within this, and do we get a move down to take either out that low or hold that point of control? They look interesting, really interesting to me now at the minute. Where did that? There it is. So for me now, we have a reaction zone down here. I like this area. I would look for, if it comes into it, is a couple of trades. I would take first scalp on reaction, depending on the reaction. The next one I would look for to come into it, maybe a loss back into the reaction zone for a reclaim and then back up. Something like that would be really nice. So I'm going to put that in as trade setup number 1. Long number 1 and number 2, or idea number 1 and number 2. Okay. So then the other one you have to look at here also is, does price come back to test this area? This set of single prints, your fair value gap, whatever you want to call it. There's 101 names on this and it's basically all the same thing. Do we come the whole way back down? If we do, you know, it's a really nice place to look for a trade. Right down here. We'll add that in as a reaction zone. So again, down here, we'll add in a couple of scenarios. One, we come down and hold it, head on up. The other, we lose it and back in. Put that down as long number 2. Then obviously there's the scenario, if we keep on heading up from here, you know, what if we just hold here against that point of control and we don't get, you know, those entries we're looking for, and we start to head up? What do we look for here? Well, because it has tapped it once, twice, you know, I'd be a little wary of it. Coming at it the next time, I would look for a swing above it, to be quite honest with you. So 2 things you would look for while it's up there. 1, does it come up and give like a failed auction above price? Something like this price action here, but above the value area high, and then only on a loss and a reclaim would you get into that trade. So looking for it here, would you look for a short on it? Alternative to that is if this thing is strong and it's ready to break out, if it comes up, tests it, flips it, shows strength and heads on up, you know, you could be looking for on that local range, you could be looking for longs at the value area low. So it really depends on the volume you see up above that range. That is what's important here. So that will be the 2 setups I would say, you know, for your long or your short and your invalidation up here, is coming up into that, you know, taking out those highs, spending a bit of time up here, and then a loss, back test and a drop, or, you know, monitoring when it gets up there. You're monitoring that that area of balance, your fixed range up here, to see, does it hold the lows? And if it does, well then, you know, she could be ready to keep going. So we'll name that short plus validation. That's the invalidation, where you could be just looking for scalp longs. So that's SUSDT. I have to say, not a bad looking coin so far, and fair play to AI for recommending it. The next one we're going to move on to is Vanry. Vanry, you can find this on Binance, Bybit, KuCoin, Femex or Femex, all of them basically. So we'll have a look at this one next. Straight away, first impression, I have to say I like the look of it. I really do like the look of it. Let me get a sup of this before I go any further. This isn't sponsored, but I see that coconut water. Oh my god. ASMR with the Dukes. Jesus, that is good, lads. Right, Vanry. Let's see what we have going on here. Also, before I go any further, what I need you all to do is, if you haven't already, is click the like button. Number 1. Number 2, make sure you're subscribed. And number 3, make sure to click that little ding-a-ling-a-ling notification bell, because We're going to have new live streams midweek from the other pro traders. So you won't have to sit here looking at me and Trader R anymore or for much longer. You're going to have the other pro traders out showcasing their work midweek. If you want to be able to see that, and it's going to be live, I can't say it's going to be posted afterwards. So you'd have to be watching it live in the time. Make sure to click the notification bell. Leave us know in the comment section what you would like to see the lads chart or what you would like to see us cover. So let us know. Make sure to do that. So let's get back into what we're doing and jump into it. So let's see where we're at. Okay. Nice deviation so far. Nice reaction so far. Okay. So what I'm seeing here locally is, looking at this price action, what I'm seeing is the potential of this inverse head and shoulders starting to form, or not starting to form, but forming here. Okay. So two things can happen with these. Number one, they play out, and the textbooks will tell you, you know, while you get head and shoulders or an inverse head and shoulders like this, you're apparently supposed to wait for price to get up above the neckline, back test the neckline, and that's when you look for your long positions here. Okay. So what we're going to try and do is we're going to anticipate this being an inverse head and shoulders, and we're going to get in at the lows. So we're going to be looking to trade. We're going to be looking to be ahead of the posse, having about a 70% move on top of what they're going to be looking at. So while they're only entering their positions, we'll be 70% plus into our long already on our paper trading accounts. The other thing that can happen with these inverse head and shoulders is because retail is watching them a lot, they can fake out. So what happens is it comes up, and as I said, the textbooks will tell you it will hold here. And what happens is it falls back down and drops down, liquidating all of those people that have got into long positions here because the textbooks told them to long here. What advantage do we have from this? Lots. Because A, we've identified this early. B, we are 70% into our long position before they're even thinking about it. And if it does start to break down, we are in a safe zone, okay, on our paper trading accounts. So let's look at where we could, two things. Let's look at where we could potentially enter into this inverse head and shoulders, and let's look where we could potentially exit, look for a short off the back of this, and then we'll look for levels up above where we could get a potential rejection, and then we'll look for levels down below where we could get, if we do get the fake out of this where it doesn't hold and it drops down, what kind of levels could we be looking at to the downside? So let's do all of that. Don't forget though, if I give this trade and you want to see how I manage it, go over to protraderslounge.com and avail that deal that's going on, $99 for your first month. Okay. Let's find some levels down here. Two nice naked points of control down below price. Nice monthly naked point of control down below price. So I am straight away interested down here. Anything above that is of no interest to me. I'd rather lose out or miss out on the trade. Now that might change as we further go through this, but we'll see. $886 is lining right up. Is that on the monthly? Right on the monthly. That is the premium place so far. Okay. There is that level above. I'm going to have to mark it in. Yeah, don't like it. Okay. Big targets to the upside. So if we got in at the lows where we're anticipating this to be a head and shoulders, inverse head and shoulders, and a head straight to the upside, you're talking 190% and a crazy move to the upside. If it hadn't mental happened in the altcoin world, would bring you up 700%. But that's all fairy tale stuff. We trade level to level. So what we're looking for is maybe an in-turn bounce and then down into a sharp heading up, something like that would be really nice. So we'll put that in for long position number one. Now remember, there's a place where she can get an in-turn bounce, or that could potentially be that can be the one. I'd rather not be the level, but that can be the level, but we'll see. I would much rather that lower level. So long number uno. Okay, so let's say now that we get this this move down and we don't get a head and shoulders, okay, that this isn't the idea. So let's look for something that can be, you know, a level to deviate down at the lows. So with that, we will use a TR pocket. We're looking for 160 region thereabouts. Okay, that's going to be long number two. If she blows down through that, so if it gets no reaction, plows down through our first long area, well, then we're going to look down here. So anyone who knows how to trade the TR pocket and the statistics behind it, you can trade it down here. Other than that, just wait for a reclaim of the range. Long number two. Now, back to idea number one, where we get this inverse head and shoulders. And we know the whole plan and how they work. And there's a neckline up here. And if you break the neckline, that's where people will start looking for their longs. That's where we're going to be taking profits, our big profits. And look at the close out of the trade is up here. But we need to see where this can potentially turn around now. You know, where are the areas up here that this could turn around if we did get a fake out? So we have to look at it in two ways. One, that this is the low and it's going to continue up, and you know, retail traders do get what they're looking for and it holds here and then starts to move up. We will take our profits here, and if we do see strength here, we can just add it back on and trade with the trend to the upside. Okay, so we need to know where's that level, where is that level, what's that resistance above us. And we also need to know, okay, if it does turn around up here, where can we look for shorts, a potential area to trade it the whole way back down again and down to some lower prices down below this range. So let's work on that now. Okay. Let's take this volume. Really nice. Really, really nice. Value area low. Bye. Okay, we've just found our zone. Some nice confluence up here. Okay, some nice confluence. So if we go back to this idea of number one, you have to think about this, right? Retailer looking at this, it gets a break up, it comes back, it's sitting on that neckline. They're looking to long. This is where we're going to be looking to get out of the trade for the best part, and then looking to short. This is a really, really nice zone to do that. So up into this reaction zone, up around this area, we're going to be looking for shorts. If we get that short, we're going to look to trade it down to the low of that range. This could be a really nice swing to the downside. Targets for that potential swing. Let's check it out. Yeah, I like that target. So let's mark in this zone to the downside as our target for a potential swing short. So this will be take profit final take profit plus short question mark. We don't know if we're going to take it yet. We have to see. And that would be a really nice zone. Obviously loads of take profits along the way, but that would be a really nice target if that happened. Alternative to that, if it goes for us, or if it goes for the, you know, this works out, there's no fake out of that head and shoulders pattern, well then we'll just look for it to come up, hold within that range where we can look to trade it up for further prices. And that's a new position within itself. So I think that's really, you know, that's two really, really good setups there. That is two really, really good setups. I like that. Yeah. So let's look at it in terms of percentage. What will we be looking for off this trade? If we get into that trade it up roughly 120% to the upside. Obviously, as I said, take profits, loads of the whole way across, because this can turn around and give it all back again. Don't be afraid to take profits. If we get a short up here, this could be a really, really nice short. And in terms of percentage to the downside, you're talking 74%. That is insane. If this company ever wants to sponsor me, you're more than welcome. Absolutely fantastic. I think they're two solid trades. Do I want to go into any more? No, I don't. I must have drawn a trend line on this one before. Nah, I'm happy with those two. They are two really good setups. Any more than that now, I won't be messing around. Someone actually asked me to look at Atom for them. Oh, don't look great, if I'm to be honest. Let me just see one thing. Okay. I'll give you a couple of things to look for a sign of strength. This is somebody request this on X. I wouldn't get involved in this thing. This thing can keep coming down, right? And if it does, so be it. But when it gets it back above that 472 region and starts to hold, like, that's when you would look to get involved in this. But it would need to, it would need to start doing something soon. Maybe doing something like that. Like a swing failure of the lows. I don't know why so many people love this Atom coin. Honestly, I don't get it. I don't get it. But I've been in the space long enough to know loads of people fucking love. Loads of people love this thing. Looks like dirt. There are your two levels to look to the downside. 310 to the $3 mark, down to your $2 mark for reactions. But the safe bet on this is when it gets back above 470. Like, yeah. Not something I'd be interested in. That's being honest. I'm being straight with you. I don't like the look of it. I don't like anything got to do with it. I would like to see some strength. You know, if you look at it, it's just high, low, lower high, lower high, lower low, lower high. It needs to start working now. So until it flips 472, I'm honestly not interested in it whatsoever. So that is that. Yeah. No, not interested. Okay, so now we're going to hand it over to Trader R and then stick around because after that we're going to have our win a free month at Pro Traders Lounge competition. Enjoy.
Hello, folks. How are we doing? Hope we're all doing good. We're back again. Bit of an update on the old altcoins, I suppose. We'll run over the ones that we already give out, but yeah, 4 of them. We did 4 last week, right? 4 last week. We did 4, and you know what? They all had about a 10% move. Some had 20, some had more. We've got a good bounce. This one got a good bounce. This one we were looking for it to run the highs and then come back down and then maybe hold a higher low and go, but she gave us a move up and a move down and then held this for a move. But overall it was these 2 trades there. That was the main. And then the other Fartcoin, I can't remember which it was, but I think we were looking for a higher low. Instead it just kept going up, so it didn't give you anything in the end. So I'm going to get rid of these. If we get a 10% move, you know, minimum a 10% move off of any of the plays, then that's a win. We should really start like a counter, you know, because my god, the amount of plays that I've given out since we've started this, like with XRP, EAT, with loads of shit, loads of stuff, like loads of plays. I should have started like for the amount of plays I've given out and the amount of losses. Where are we standing here, you know? Like from last week we would have been 3-1. You get me? Yeah. Just curious of where I'm standing. How many losses have, or how many plans have failed compared to how many plans have been successful? That's kind of what I'd like to know. But anyway, we have a few here. We did a little post on Twitter there. Little post on Twitter. Blah, blah, blah. You know, I will be doing these every week, but we went through them all, to be honest. We went through them all, and you know what? The ones I picked out are what we have. We have 4. We have Dot, XMR, Pepe, and Toshi. So we're just going to run through them all. We run through them all. I'm pretty sure I did that on stream before. I did this on stream before, and this is kind of what we had. I don't really remember doing this, but this is what we had. Bit of a range to run down into the TR extension to run all these lows. And we had this trend line here. So this trend line is breaking at the moment. So what could happen here is, I'd like this. I do like this coin. I was looking at it, I was like, ooh, the whole plan is playing out. So let's have a look at fucking see what is here. Monthly pivots. We're hitting the monthly pivots there now, so that's a good support. Quarterly pivots. Quarterly pivots to the top side, and we don't have anything. Probably, maybe doubt we have any bi-yearly, maybe tri-yearly. And then the tri-yearly pivots are up here. So like if you're doing a big massive swing, you would be looking for that. But overall, lower time frame, the first target you would be looking for, and the most realistic one is this quarterly pivots, which would be above close enough to $5. So again, we'll have a look and see what we're at. Bounced off the monthly pivots, and is it a wick after monthly pivots? Monthly. Nice bounce after monthly pivots. Do we have any TR pocket confluence here? I'm gonna sneeze. Jeez. Nice TR pocket confluence here. Lovely. So overall, that could be a low here. Did you run that? You ran that liquidity too. It's really nice. So overall, you actually could be getting a low here. Maybe bounce up and a bit of a higher low, because you will have this trend line then now to beat. So I would be on the lookout for this to actually break up, and we'll have quarterly pivots then right here. So target on this would be this. Target would be this. Right. We get rid of this for now. That's old plan. Old plan's playing out. If we get back inside the range and put in a higher low, I'd be looking for that break up, to be honest, into this. Overall, until 25. Do we need this? We don't need this trend line here too. So this, we've equal highs here, is that? Yeah, lovely. Equal highs. Little target there. And if we come down lower, I'll use the TR pocket from here to here. Probably swing fail that low again, but overall we'll put a bit of green box. I just like the way it bounced off that monthly pivots, you know. Green box. Right. Back. Right. Overall we'll be looking for the upside then. So is slings, any confluence with the slings? No, she's still kind of going sideways here. Daily slings have been ran through a little bit, and yeah, you know what, they're ready to break, to be honest. So this is a nice enough plan. We'll see what happens here. We must put this down a bit because we're on a linear scale now. See what happens here. I think we might break up. If we can get inside the range and higher low, I'd say she would be ready to go for the quarterly pivots then. So let's see. That's that anyway. That's knocked out of the park. We had done this XMR, and I was shocked when we were doing it because we were down here at the time, and yeah, I was zoomed out and I was like, man, I'm blown away by how good looking this was. Like, this had to be the best looking coin that I have seen in a long time. And at the time we had come down with this, and I was shouting, yeah, we're going to go up for these highs. Like, this is the next thing, and we were down here at the time. So overall, she pumped a good fucking 50%, 40 to 50% there off of that. So what is next? Because that right there, might be shocked, but it's an actual play that when you wick this, that's the target. So what is next? What do we have next going on? Like, let's just mute my phone here. What do we have next? So lower time frame. She pumped up. I probably could be looking at this a better, yo, but I don't really want that. So overall, I'm still bullish on this. I will say, still bullish. Oh yeah, okay. So we still have this big TR pocket is still sitting there. So we'll be looking for more upside. But the play, where is the play here? That's the question. Like, that's a daily high, so we could be going sideways quite a long time here on this. Quite a long time. I'd like to take these lows out. I'm not gonna lie, I would like to take these lows out because we backtested the previous high before. I'd like to backtest this high again. So maybe we come down, give us a play here. This might not be a play for this week. I will say this might not be a play for the week. It might just take quite a long time to actually play out because we had a big fucking pump on this. Lock this. Lock this. So she's retesting a high there. She could fall down, but overall, I would actually like us to run the lows again. That would be nice. If we could just run that low again, get a swing failure or something down here. Do I need that? I do need that high. I was going to get rid of it, but I kind of need it. So that in there. And log. Overall, what I'd like to see here is just, you know, boom, and then back up to this high. Overall, she could really do this though. Could really do this, where she goes boom, takes that high and down. But I'd love it to run the lows into this area and then move up and take these highs, swing fail, then after that TR pocket, then put it in the next range. Put in the next range. Just boom down the lows, take the highs. What would that actually look like then? 40% move. Another 40% move potentially. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Overall, yeah, just take this low, swing fail, deviate, and run these highs into this and potentially swing fail and deviate again. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Sell box. Pepe. I was looking at this yoke. I was like, overall it looks nice. You know, Pepe looks alright. I think I was actually wasn't. We'll have to look at the pivots and see where we're at here. What we're working with. Quarterly pivots. Oof, okay. Quarterly pivots above the highs. You have anything on those pivots? Pretty sure that, yeah. Okay, and then we go for the big one here. Depends which one you're going to go for here though, that's the thing. Okay, linear scale looks alright, but if you're coming up there, you're most likely going to just run that high up there, so you see it there, you're probably going to run that. I would say it'd be like that. That would be the range. Or just hide that for a second. This here, right there. Yeah. Or that right there. That looks a bit better actually. That actually does look a bit better. Then for the TR pocket, for a play on this one looks close enough. You have a bit of a range down here. And if you can swing fail this range into that TR pocket, you have an A tier setup. So of course this is one I'll be looking out for. This will be buy box. Boom, 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 boom. Center the back. See this. Get rid of the top part of this. And we didn't have it on properly for sake. Boom. Right. And so what else have we got then? We have this retested this high, retested that high. We're probably sitting in it already. It doesn't look that great though. The wick is too big. 15 minute. 15 minute too big. 5. There we go. We have a nice one there now. And this, and then boom, boom, boom. Yeah, we're sitting right on it now. That's what she's doing. That's the low at the moment. Dip into that, hit the 0.5 of that. That would be nice. So we'll lock that there. And then you kind of have a bit of a curve going on here that could kind of help you. You know, instead of diving in that area, you could just wait for the curve to break. Just wait for that curve to be broken. Overall, I'm looking for this. Maybe to the 0.5. See what is that? 12, 13. If you got in late, let's say. Yeah, still 10%. Overall, you would look for the quarterly pivots, but the quicker target is the 0.5. You know? So let's see what happens on Pepe. See what happens on Pepe, huh? Toshi, next one up. I was looking at this, I was like, do you know what? This is not bad. Not bad at all. Not fucking bad. She came down, swing failed the lows, she wonder actually, did she do what she most of the time when coins start off they go down. They always do this. They always do that. Every time they do this, like every time you see something like it, just go straight up one line and starts to come down. You pull the TR pocket and it's just magic. They go to the TR pocket. Exactly. And then they start rotating back. You know? And it's just they start off like this. This thing could have came out on Bybit year before this. It doesn't really matter. Every time you just pull it like this, it works. Every time. I just don't get it. I don't understand it, but it's cool. And I've noticed it a long time now. So, what is the plan on this? What is the plan? We came up into this supply here, grand, and then we're coming back. You have the range low sitting down here. Wouldn't you love a retest of that, really? You would love a retest of that, like. You have to kind of go for it, like. You really have to go for it. Retest that range low. TR pocket. Slings. Ooh, she's holding the slings on the 10 hour. She's holding the slings, but she's in it. She looks like she could break up. She could break up, I'm not gonna lie, from where she's at. She could, because she's making a bit of a trend line on that 12 hour. I see it there. Make it a bit, but she can go lower actually. She could go lower. So let's see. We have this TR pocket here. Stop. This right there now. Central back. Log, linear, lovely. And what else have we? The range low with that TR pocket. Don't really have too much else to it. Check the liquidations here. You have a bit down there, to be fair. The big cluster is right there though. There. Oh, actually never mind. The big cluster is in our area. That's grand. That is lovely. That is lovely. That's right there now. Just like that there. Perfect. Perfect. Send that out there now. Alright. I can't believe this again. It did it again. No, it's not even on properly. Let me see. Crazy. It really is. Crazy stuff, you know? You love to see it. You love to see it. See though. See though. She's holding the slings, you know. So if she holds the slings, she can easily just go. She can easily just go boom, 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 you know. But the better play is just sitting down there for me. So retest that low into that liquidation cluster. You retest that low, it's a confirmation that you're going to hold and move up again. So doesn't mean you're going to get to 0.5 really, but it does mean you're going to get a push up to that high at the very least. We'll have a look at pivots here now. Is there a proper target? That's a really high pivot though. Will we get that? I don't know. Monthly pivots to the downside. Lovely. So we have confluence for the downside here. And then we'll have weekly pivots probably to the top side, but hopefully she doesn't take that dive first. So overall, folks, this will be like this in my opinion. Boom, 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 and move back up. For now, 0.5 as a target. For now, 0.5 as a target, which is 20. So that's really it, folks. We've got another 4 this week. Hopefully it'll be a good week, and hopefully we get a few of them. I think there was a few higher time frame ones in there, so they mightn't actually play out this week, but they're definitely to keep an eye on. And yeah, hope you have a good week, and I'll see you all inside PTL. I'll have to do the commodities, indices, and gold for the our members there now. So again, I'll see you later. Trade safe. I'll see you inside. Otherwise, I'll see you on Twitter. Good luck.
Okay, so if you want to win a free month at Pro Traders Lounge, we're changing it up a bit. If you want to win a free month, you simply have to guess the price of Bitcoin on Friday, next Friday coming at 5 p.m. Guess the price of Bitcoin, so then we can get the prices in before we go live on the Sunday. So Friday, 5 p.m, guess the price of Bitcoin. Whoever gets it right or the closest to it wins a month. That's it. Best of luck. Hope you all enjoyed the show. And remember, click the like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, because we have loads going on at the end of this week where we're going to have the other pro traders doing some live streams. So chat to you all then, and now we're going to move over into the Pro Traders Lounge dashboard for our members. Take it easy.